What do you consider one? Let's get everyone's opinion here. Juggle this.
Bob.
What's one?
What's one? Tell me when I get one. If you count, when do one happen, Chef?
When that second one hit your hand.
Oh!
Let me see one. Let me see one more time.
So, God damn it.
But we haven't hit one yet.
So you only one.
Book two.
So every two.
Yeah.
That ain't how I play. I quit. Let's do this video.
Alright, well, can you do it with a bigger fruit?
No, I'm just saying. That's not the way I wanted to play. Alright, y'all want to get all technical and everything? Hold on, Bob. Wait. Alright, there you go. These are slick.
Is this going to Sangria?
Okay.
You gotta try to throw them back. I think throw them forward, man. There you go. There, sucker. Yeah.
That was it.
Yo, Chef, I know I said I wanted some wine, but bro, it's hot outside, dog. I can't drink that.
Bruh, how about I was just looking up something to do with wine. So I see, you know me, I'm always gonna find something, but I may add my own little twist to it. But what about Sangria? What you think?
That's perfect.
All right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's gonna be fly. Cause now Sangria is a party drink anyways, season over. So we deserve to have a little something, a little party. So we're gonna go ahead and make that. We're gonna add a little brandy in there. Yeah, with a little brandy. Yeah, we're gonna add a little brandy in there.
Well, that's a dope drink.
I'm trying to tell you. Some pineapple. We're gonna throw a little Granny Smith apple in there. Some oranges, brown sugar.
See, I always thought sangria was just wine and fruit.
Well, you know what?
Ice.
Right. It traditionally it is. When it first started off, that's exactly what it was. It was red wine mixed with fruit. It started off as a party drink in Spain and Portugal. And then what happened was they brought it over here, 1964, at the World's Fair. And that's how the United States got involved and got introduced to sangria. So what we're gonna do today, man, we're gonna take some of this fabulous wine that you have, all right? We're gonna add in a little mango orange juice. We got pineapple, brandy, which is fabulous within itself. We got brown sugar. Now, I believe in flavor. So in sangria, normally is white sugar that a lot of people use. So I want to use brown sugar because it has its own flavor to it, that molasses type flavor. And then we got our Granny Smith apples and we got our oranges. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and start off first with some of our pineapple. We ain't gonna be proper. We're gonna go ahead and put it on in there.
So once you put all these ingredients together, then what you do? Do you put it in the refrigerator, freezer?
We're gonna first thing we're gonna do is put a couple of the ingredients in, and then we're gonna do a technique called muddling, which is where you take the sugar and the fruit and you smush it all together, just like this. And what you're doing now is, especially with the oranges, you opening up all of that flavor, okay? So you're bringing it all together, just like this. Once you finish muddling it, then you add in about a cup of your orange juice. All right. Then we go ahead, we add in that brandy. We're gonna go ahead and add all that in there.
Yeah, this got a real vacation vibe.
Yeah, we're trying to do something.
Yeah.
And then we're gonna go ahead and add in the whole bottle of the wine. Wade wine. Man, that sounds good. So now we'll go ahead and we'll stir that around. Now the key to cooking to anything is you gotta taste as you go. So you want to taste or you want me to taste?
I'll taste.
All right.
So as a chef, you be in the kitchen, you can be drunk already. As you trying to make the food and everything.
Right.
Okay.
I could be, but I'm normally not. Yeah.
You gotta taste everything,
Right, you gotta taste it all. So we go ahead and give you a little taste. And just like with everything, you gotta taste it so that you can make adjustments.
So what am I tasting for besides me liking it? Am I tasting for something?
No, you're not tasting for anything in particular because it's not like you are trying to, drink your wine and you know, and take all of the tastes and flavors in all over your palate. You just want something that's good and refreshing.
Yeah, some refreshing that's hot.
Yeah.
I still want to have a little buzz, you know what I mean?
Of course, and you definitely will with your wine and with that brandy in it at the same time.
Yeah.
So what do you think about the flavor?
I think the flavor is great. I mean, I will stir some more.
Okay.
To make sure all the flavors are a little bit, they come together a little
Come
better.
together a little bit more.
Yeah, but
What do you think? You think we need to add a little more fruit?
yeah, a little more fruit.
Okay, so we'll add a little more pineapple. You know, I trust you and all, but you know, I need.
It's strong too though. That brandy give it a little punch.
I'm trying to tell you.
Yeah.
Now you can use either brandy or rum. I like brandy because it's a lot smoother to me. Oh man, yeah, that's saying something now. Yeah, you want a little taste? Are you good?
No, I'm good right now.
All right, we're good.
I'm gonna get a chill.
All right, so we're gonna chill it up and then we'll be back at it. There you go.
This is really blood red, right?
It is. But yeah, man, so. Oh man, that's good. That is good. But yeah, man, you know, Father's Day is coming up. But you know, I think in our families, man, especially with me growing up, the men in my life were just so very important. It wasn't just about my father, even though he was super important in my life. But I remember, man, my neighbor was the one who actually taught me how to ride my bike.
Yeah.
You know? So I just feel that, you know, just having these strong males in your life is so important, you know? And just like we were just talking about, you know, some other things earlier on, you know, having different males gives you different perspectives on the things that you should look forward to in life and the way that you should handle life.
Definitely. I always say in my life, if I'm speaking to a room full of men, right, and I'm speaking on the topic of fatherhood, the one thing I make sure I always say is understand the importance of everybody in here role and what role you can have in a child's life, whether you are a basketball coach,
Right.
Whether you are their father, whether you're their uncle, whether you're their mentor, whatever the case may be, just understand the power and the role that you have in the child's life. It doesn't have to just be their dad or their father. It can be so many, like in my life, man, I had so many coaches along the way, from my high school coach, my college coach, you know, et cetera, that helped me become a better person, a better man, and taught me things in a different way. That I know I wouldn't be who I am without the lessons that I learned from those men. And those weren't all black men that looked like me.
There you go.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It was many men of different colors that helped me grow, you know, into what I am at 36. And just understanding that even at that point, it's gonna be another man that's gonna come in my life. Another man who's in my life right now is gonna help me grow at 40, and so forth and so on. So just understand the importance of the roles that we have as men,
Right.
you know, and using it and doing something with it. You know?
Now that's saying something, using it and doing something with it. Because I mean, you can know that you have an influence, but you sit there and you keep all of that knowledge to yourself, you keep all of that wisdom to yourself, you're not doing anything. You know, you have to be able to plant seeds. And it's not necessarily through you talking a lot. Even like with my father and I, you know, we didn't say a whole lot, but we knew we loved each other immensely. But I watched his movements. You know, I watched my father go from working in a bank, a 9 to 5, which he didn't like doing, to one day seeing him all of a sudden with books on the table, studying to get a degree, you know. And then he went from getting his degree to being a teamster, you know, going out on his own. And I was just talking to my mother the other day and I said, you know, I had never seen him that happy ever in life until he made that decision to step out of the box.
Right.
And so it followed along to even with you and me, where I was teaching. So I was in a box, and working with you was totally out of the box. And I knew that in order for me to be truly happy, I needed to try to find something else. So I went back into my memory banks and saw that my dad did it.
Back to that vision.
Right.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, he did it, I could do it. And look at us now. You know what I mean? So it's not necessarily you saying something all the time. It's about the movements that you make in life that makes the influence on people.
And we've had that conversation before, and I definitely take that into my parenting of my kids. And understanding that sometimes as kids, we've all been there before. Your parents do this a lot. At some point, you drown it out.
Yeah, you block it out.
Right, that's anybody. It ain't just your parents. Like, you block it out, you drown it out. Especially when you get to the point you get older and you think you know everything.
Right.
So, but what I try to do now is I try to make sure that the lead by example kind of, situation, I do a lot of things by example now. You know what I mean? And I know right now I may not, the boys, they don't even know that they watching it, that they seeing it.
Right.
They don't know that at some point when they have their family, some point, if they're mentoring another kid or whatever the case may be, that they're gonna go back to, what did my daddy do? Oh, this is how I handle it. This is how my dad handled it. What is right or wrong?
Right.
This is what,
right.
When I went to the point where I had to start punishing the kids, and this ain't the dead age where you just grab a belt or a extension cord and whoop them like it was when I was growing up.
Me too.
So I had to go back in my mind to, what did my dad do? I was like, oh, okay. These are the things he did. And at the time when I was young, I thought he was crazy.
Right.
Then I got older, I'm like, genius. You know what I'm saying? But the visuals in so many different ways in my life was there, and I can go back now and pluck from them. And I can put a twist on them, but the visuals are already there of what I've seen. I see my father get up every morning before everybody and go to work.
Right.
Every day. So what do? I get up every morning, I go to work. I stay out there, I do this, I do that. My kids get to see that. So as they get older, they understand that, you know what? My daddy, we lived a certain way. My daddy worked his butt off. Right. You know what I mean? My daddy wasn't around because he didn't like us or he didn't want to be there. My dad wasn't around all the time because he was always working to make sure that we had the things that we needed and wanted. So these are the visions that we're setting, for our kids. Same with you. Your kids see that they don't see you as much as they would want to because you're grinding on not only working for me, but the company that you're building. Right. You know what I'm saying? Right. So when they pull back one day in life and they have their families, they have their kids, they're gonna pull back from, man, this is what my dad did. When they had a conversation with their kid, I'm like, this is what my dad used to do. My dad got up every morning. Right. He did X, Y, and Z, blah, blah.
Right. And I mean, and we're talking about our boys, but even with having daughters as well, it's so important that we show them what a man does, what a man is like, the way that we talk to our wives, the way that we treat our wives, the way that we treat them. We're supposed to be their first love, and even with my daughter, I tell her all the time that, I don't want you to depend on anybody, but me. Now, when you get married, that's fine, but I need you to understand that at the end of the day, this is the foundation. This is what you're used to. You're used to being treated this way. You're used to being talked to this way. You know what I mean? So that when she goes out into the world, she doesn't have to guess if she's worth, if she has any self-worth at all. I've told you from the time that you were born that you're beautiful, So now when somebody else out in the street comes to you and talk to you about how fine or how beautiful you are, only thing you need to let them know is, okay, tell me something else. Right. My daddy been telling me that for the longest. What else you got to give me? 9 times out of 10, that's all that's gonna happen until you find a real one that can, touch you in another way, mentally or spiritually. You know what I mean? So it's not just about the boys. We definitely got to work on, showing our young ladies too, what a real man is about as well.
Definitely. I mean, I think for anybody who's out there who listen to this or watch this or anything, we all have our different ways that we parent. Yeah. We all have our different ways that we lead. And whatever that way is, whatever you find, stick to it. Because your kids needs consistency. Right. Right? That's the one thing that we've learned in this process of me getting custody of the boys and and everyone who's around who's helping them grow, we've learned that the boys need consistency. So whatever it is, for me, is respect, is routine, is responsibility. Those are the 3 criteria that I live on, and that's the 3 criteria that I try to have my boys live on. Right. And however way we end up doing it, it comes back to those 3 things. So whatever it is that you have for them, make sure you are consistent to that because they need that.
Right. It's always about a solid foundation, solid foundation.
And don't drink in front of your kids. So right now I'm drinking this Sangria. My kids ain't here. So they ain't never really seen me drink. They don't really know I drink. They know we got a name on it, but they don't really understand what that means. So before they get home from school, I'm gonna have me a couple glasses.
Couple of cocktails. Right. My man. Cheers.